everyone. I think I'm just gonna start billing myself as the only sane one on this broadcast.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin.
There we go. Cranky isn't cranky anymore. Alyssa's cranky.
You know what I want to see in the forest? I want to see a unicorn. Want all you want. Wish in one hand, but poop in the other.
Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to Addicts Live. The Addicts Crew is here once again to bring you Simpsons news and Saturday smiles. I'm Alissa, your resident head addict, and my co-hosts this week are the Monday morning math man himself, Super Safi.
Hello. Happy Saturday morning to everyone.
And the moving did from TSTO to home renovation, cranky old guy, Patric.
Sure. Look what I do. I have sawdust under my hands. No, you keep throwing me this time loop thing. You know, it's my biggest gripe. It doesn't matter. I have to keep checking the calendar. Am I still here? Am I alive? What's going on?
We just like messing with the old guy, you know.
I know. Pretty hard to do these days.
Anything we can do to, you know, mess with your mind a little bit. Mickey, yell at some clouds. We're good.
So he's missing his Saturday morning cartoons right now.
He's like, wait, I gotta go watch a football game. What's going on?
That's right.
The Bookster is not here with us tonight. He's with his family tonight for something very exciting. That's not my place to say what it is, but we do miss him dearly, but completely understand why he's not with us. But it's very exciting, so it's nothing bad, thankfully. So boys, anything new going on? Nothing?
The usual. Just traveling around. I'm in sunny Miami right now.
So it's kind of repeat and rinse. Your Canes, is that the deal?
Rinse and repeat.
He disappeared. I just have an icon for him.
No, I'm
Technical difficulties.
I can hear you guys.
I'm
You
good.
hear me? See me?
I gotcha.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay.
I was just saying, rinse and repeat. Just traveling around. Currently in Miami, Florida. Enjoying the nice warm weather.
Hey, it's
just
warm
on
in
South
Jersey.
Beach a few minutes ago.
It's miserable in Oregon right now. Usually September is gorgeous right into mid-October, and we've been getting torrential downpours.
Jeez.
It's getting so cool. But you'll live with it.
Yeah. Well, the weather in Jersey's nice. I'm not complaining. It's a beautiful September day.
Nice.
So since we all last got together, I now have a 1-year-old. One.
That's right. That's right.
Officially 1. Still not walking, but he's officially 1. So life's a little chaotic these days. But anyway, let's jump into some TSTO, boys. New mini event, the long teased Krusty event. Although I don't think this is anything like we would have predicted with when those teasers first came out. Initial thoughts on the Krusty's Last Gasp mini event.
Go ahead, Safi. You set it up. Well, I'll be curious to see if you like it.
Yin and yang. I do I like the dialogue. I like the items. Overall, I feel there's a little bit of asynchrony or inconsistency with the prizes, especially when you look at the college coming in with this event. But I'm really glad that we got some items that I really wanted. Sideshow Raheem, I've been rooting for a while and was probably in my top 10 desired characters, so I'm glad he's in the game now. He was also in the bracket battle this summer, so EA's stealing from me again. And but yeah, again, I like the storyline, the dialogue. I like the prizes individually, but don't find them very cohesive, if you know what I mean. Like I don't know if I'm clear.
Yeah, they don't make sense. They don't flow right. I gotcha.
Yeah, Yeah, exactly. It's almost like friend points. It's where you're getting different things that are completely. Well, I mean, they do go together, but not as much as like typical mini events, like your Cheddar Barrel Farm or other memorable mini events we've had in the past.
Pat.
Let's see. I'm feeling a bit ripped off. First of all, the Clown College, where everybody was excited about, and there's like really no mention of the college. They gave us the Clown College, and that's it. You know, it's a direction to take off with the copyright thing, and I mean, it's again, the dialogue is funny. According to the Clown College, I don't really get it. And then the other thing is, I feel mildly ripped off as a longtime player because I'm obviously getting 2 sets of donuts that I can earn in about 18 seconds. So it's like, okay, what? Give me something else. Give me an alternative. I saw the big prizes this week I got were 2 sets of donuts. The thing I'm doing my daily challenges for is a land token. Woohoo! So I have like 8,000 land tokens, and I can get donuts in about 18 seconds. So something's wrong, but the dialogue is funny.
So yeah, I mean it seems it's par for the course these days. I mean, Flanders mini event not taking that out of the equation. It seems like every mini event this year has been good dialogue, meh stuff. The Flanders mini event was probably the best one we had. I would say probably since the country fair update for a mini event aspect. But this one's kind of following the same patterns the others followed, in that it's great dialogue, throw in items, discombobulated prize track, and meh.
Flanders, just to remind you of the last episode, you thought the prize track was a little discombobulated, where they should have introduced other Flanders. So,
well, I wanted Jose. I really wanted Jose.
And I wanted Canadian Flanders, so I'm happy. Even though he's not a Flanders, he is Canadian.
Exactly. And I think Pat froze, so that's fun. That's what happens when it rains in Oregon.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. It just cut out. Yeah.
It's raining in Oregon. We lost them. It's too much acid rain in Oregon. Matt Groening found out that Pat's in Oregon and is really trying to prevent him from talking to everybody else so that he doesn't give the Simpsons secrets away.
Well, the key is to freeze when you're not in an unflattering position. So
just always smile.
You've been okay, Pat.
So yeah, let's talk about the Clown College. So we finally got the Clown College. I feel like this thing has been teased for, 2 years, a year and a half. Like it's been teased longer. Forever. And in this event, it's just like a random throw in. It's like, oh crap, we've been teasing this thing for years and years and years. I guess we need to give it to somebody. And it's 100 freaking donuts. 100 donuts for a building that does nothing. Has absolutely nothing to do with this event. Totally like separated from this event. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, what I got, I mean, you have the Clown College that you buy, and then you've got the things you win, which is like a random, another chateau, and a swimming pool. It's like, where are we going with this, folks? So yeah, I don't know. Very odd.
And I mean, when you consider how much hype was around the Clown College, if you recall, it was a Final Four contestant in the bracket battle for most desired building, and I think Pat, myself, and Wook had it as our choice for a winner in the Addicts pool, which is why we lost to you, Alissa. But
no, my readers, just saying.
But I mean, the readers had it in the top 4, so I mean, it's something that we wanted for a while, and yeah, it is kind of, like you said, just on its own, kind of isolated, kind of unexpected, the way it was released.
Yeah,
I mean, they should have had like a Clown College and then a diploma cloud. That seems to be their newest thing. We could put the diploma off in heaven too. So I don't know. It was weird.
100 freaking donuts for the thing, though, guys. 100 donuts. When you could get the Club Krusty Adult Retreat and Sideshow Raheem for 150 donuts. Why would you spend 100 donuts on a building that has one task for a quest line? So it's like a 1-part quest line. Yes, it has a permanent task for Krusty. It's not visual. Like it's I don't know. Blows my mind. It's an EA thing, I think. They just said, okay, people want this. Here you go. Here's 100 donuts. It's like Bleeding Gums Murphy all over again.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm starting to come back to trying to understand the process. It's going to be something I'll start sleuthing again. This has clearly become a writer's game where all they're doing is showcasing the writing, which is very funny. Don't get me wrong, but they have to go somewhere with connecting the dots on the actual gameplay itself. And so I don't know if this stuff's been sitting in limbo, that they've had designed, it's ready to go, and they just couldn't figure out what to do with it, or if they literally have like one guy, like part-time programmer Bob, that comes into set up. Well, what's this clown college going to do? I don't know. I only got 8 minutes on the clock. I think I'm going to go ahead and just make it do nothing. Click. How much should it be?
Turn some lights
I don't
on.
know. 100 donuts. I don't know. Let's go. I got to go. I'm going over to my day job. So.
Yeah, I mean that's beginning to feel a little bit like what it is. I mean, things have been priced, I will say, fairly reasonable recently. Items have been an okay price structure. 150 donuts has become the standard for character building combo, unless it's like a highly desired character in building, like Sarah Wiggum and Bleeding Gums. Those all kind of break the mold. But 100 donuts for a building on any planet, I don't care what it is crazy. I mean, 65 donuts at most. Like, come on.
This could be the revenge of the donut farmers again. You've talked about this for years. This could be the revenge of the donut farmers. Because to be honest with you, I didn't even think about it. I just went click. There it is.
Honestly, so did I. And the funny thing, honest to God, I have not Quickie Mart farmed in over 3 months. Not one single Quickie Mart in over 3 months, and I'm still sitting at like over an X number of donuts. I'm not gonna say
X number.
I mean, I buy my donuts. We've had this. I don't donut farm. I buy my donuts. So and I bought it anyway, guys. I bought it because mostly because I wanted to see what it did. I didn't use my B game for it because I didn't feel like going into my B game. Just like, I'll just buy it in my A game, whatever. And then I was highly disappointed. So when I wrote my should I buy for it, you'll see I tell people, don't buy this. Don't buy it. Unless you have some weird obsession with clown colleges, don't buy it.
I think we all have obsession with clown college. It's one of those things we've been wanting forever. So,
this is when I need Wookie, though, because we both would say, can't sleep, clown will eat me. This is when I need Wookie.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is, I don't want to call you Grandma Alissa, but if you're not
get off my lawn.
That's right. If you're not donut farming at this point, you don't get it. It's just
I'm the last holdout.
You are indeed the last holdout. You're over on an island by yourself. I mean, you know how hard I fought it and how much fun I made of the crazy percentage people, whatever. It's like, okay, I'm like at 1,000%. My golden number is, we have something probably coming. I'll, get 600 donuts and just leave them sit there. Because that's the most I know I'll ever have to spend on an update is 600. It's like, boom. I got faked out. What was it? Yeah, I think the Flanders thing, I had to spend a little bit more, but not much more than that. It takes nothing to earn them.
Well,
Sorry.
I will tell you that I haven't bought donuts in a while. The last time I bought donuts was when they offered a donut special, like buy 100 donuts, get something, whatever, because I bought it because it was there and I was like, oh, let me take advantage of this deal. But I have so many friggin' iTunes gift cards from Costco that were on sale, $100 iTunes gift cards for $85. I have so many of them from the last 2 years and I haven't bought them for the last 2 years. That's how slow the update process has been lately, and that's how slow I'm going through donuts because I haven't had to buy them in forever, and I still have 4,000 donuts. It's not like I'm running low. And I still have like $300 worth of iTunes gift cards to spend. So
and yet she's complaining about 100 donuts. Okay, Grandma.
It's the principle of the thing. Listen, I also complain. In fairness, I complain and I hate Apple. Full disclosure, I despise Apple. This podcast is not sponsored by Apple.
Whoa.
I have been, I don't want to say the word because I have been witching with a B since Apple announced the new iPhone is going to cost $1,500. $1,500 for a freaking phone. I wouldn't spend that on a computer. Somebody's going to go spend that on a phone. It makes me nervous about what phones are going to start costing as we go on and on. Same thing with this. 100 donuts for a building. It just sets a bad precedent in my mind. I'm protective of the precedent, the structure. That's all. I also complained when premium combos went from 120 donuts to 150 donuts. So I'm just protective of the precedent. That's
She also washes out plastic sacks. She can reuse them again. So
I just have to point out that you can get $100 Costco iTunes gift cards for $80 in Canada.
well, 80 Canadian dollars. How much is that in US dollars?
9,000.
But we're still getting it 20% off.
Yeah. So, but it's I don't know. To me, it's just I'm protective of the structure. I'm also the youngest one out of everyone on this site, and I act like I'm an old person. I know. I was born old. Me and George Bailey, we were born old.
Here we go.
So anyway, it with this event, it just feels like there was a lot that they could have done that they didn't do. They could have done. Oh, guys, you hear the train?
I was like, whose train is that?
There's so much stuff. This is what I get for having my windows open somewhere in the house. There's a lot that they could have done with this. They could have, we all had speculations when we found out about the Krusty Clown College twist to the dialogue of the updates, the update teaser. And we all had different speculation ideas, and this was not any of them. I mean,
they could have actually done something about the college. That would have been unique.
Yeah, send Homer to Clown College. That would have been fun.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, we're no longer live. Like, we're no longer doing this on Saturdays, so we don't have that reader interaction live as during the show. But I have gone through some comments, and I pulled some comments. People talked about stuff, and somebody did have a great idea about the Clown College. We'll discuss that in a little bit. But so there are some reader thoughts on that. But I just feel like there was a lot, much like most of TSTO this year, there was a lot they could have done and have not done, despite the dialogue being phenomenal. The writers of the show always complain no one reads the dialogue, but it seems like that's all we have these days is really good dialogue.
Yeah, so what this really is the game is basically in hospice mode. The people that have all the mechanics are walking in and making sure the oxygen's still on and the whatever. But every once in a while, the guy in the bed wakes up and says something hilarious. And so you got to keep poking your head in. And that's basically the writers at this point. Although I just saw that they won an Emmy again for one of their episodes. So that'll keep them going for another 3 or 4 years.
Just what they need, more hardware, more things to make their head
with
big.
This prize track, though.
Say that again?
One of the biggest things for me in the prize track is having the skin as the final prize. Like, I would have preferred if Sideshow Raheem was the final prize. I like having a new character as the final prize. I find it more of an incentive to tap more regularly. Like, I'm probably behind the pace right now. I think I'm like on the 3rd prize right now. But yeah, I feel like Sideshow Raheem or some new character, whoever you want, was the Sideshow Luke Perry, whoever was the final prize.
How about something other than the donuts? I mean, it's like it's so I get 2 sets of donuts and a skin. Woo-hoo!
Hey, 2 dozen donuts, man. They should have given us 13, so it would have been 2 baker's dozen.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I just earned 57 donuts in the last 32 minutes. So there we go. I don't care.
The other thing too I've noticed with this, and this isn't in my show notes, guys, so I'm sorry to spring this on you, but the BART screen is popping up more and more. And it's not impacting me. We talked about this with our last show too. Really hasn't impacted me. I think it comes on every once in a while when I start open the game and then I don't have an issue. I don't donut farm. I play on a new device. I'm always connected to really good Wi-Fi. I don't know. So, and I'm never in my game for a long period of time.
I don't think it has anything to do with our end, to be honest with you. I think they're having hiccups with the server because I play on both an iPad and my phone, and I'm getting the BART screen Probably twice or three times every time I log in. And it doesn't have anything to do with farming or anything else. It's just random. I really think it has more to do with the time of day, how many people are on. I have this bad feeling that our server's been downgraded. The primary server is not doing its thing. So
I mean, I did notice when the Krusty event hit, I was initially able to get right into my game, and then I stupidly shut off my game so I could write up a post. And as I needed to go back into my game to reference something for the post, I couldn't get back in because everybody was trying to get into the server. So I recognize that aspect,
Right.
the same issue we've had with 10 o'clock update times, set 10 o'clock update times. Everybody knows that's when everybody logs in. You can't get in.
Yeah.
But I did see that some players say that it happens to them only when they donut farm. Some people say it happens only when they're in their game for longer than 5 minutes. It just kind of depends. And I don't know. I'm not privy to the information from EA as to what's causing it. It would be fascinating, and I don't think this is the case, but it would be fascinating if this was their way to stick the finger in the eye of donut farmers. I would giggle.
And this is exactly how rumors get started. No, it's too random.
That's why I don't donut farm people.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen to me when I'm donut farming. I think the people that complain about it happening when they're donut farming are those people that have so many donuts or so many, so much XP that, like the guy was talking about a couple of days ago, every time he hits a Quickie Mart, he gets a donut, or he has a set. That's a lot of XP, and that's a lot of server drag. But I really think it has more to do with the time of the day, because I know that when I log in the morning, that has more trouble than when I'm like right now. I just logged in right before the show, no issue whatsoever. But in the morning, you've got the double whammy. You've got people on across the United States logging in the morning, and then you've got a bunch of people from England logging in at night, which a lot of them like. So I think they're
English. Blame them.
It's time for revolution. Too late.
No, I really haven't had much of an issue with the BART screen. For me, the biggest issue that's been going on for over a year is anytime I send my characters to the rail yards to collect plastic, recycling, or glass, or metal, excuse me.
You're still doing that?
Yeah.
That's still a thing? People still rail yard? Still a thing?
How else do you get your rail yard pieces?
I took advantage of the rail yard duplication glitch and have millions of pieces of straight track and have no issues.
Yeah, see, I missed out on that glitch.
And my monorail.
Was the first time they had the green tennis courts. I missed out on it. Though I took advantage of it the second time and got over 3,000% in green tennis courts.
Wow.
My Springfield Heights is all just 300 green tennis courts.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I really don't. My inclination again tends to be more along their end, the server stuff. I don't think it's a device or punishing donut farmers or anything else like that. It's too random.
All right. Well, let's kind of on the subject of this. Did anybody else besides me find it amusing that the name of this update was Krusty's Last Gasp? And it kind of felt like a nod to TSTO in general, just the last gasp of it. I mean, that's how this last year has felt. Like Pat said, we're on hospice. We're grasping for air.
Yeah.
Although I've heard Pat tell me that multiple times over the years.
I was just gonna say this is the pot calling the pot black or something. I don't know. It's very confusing. I'm very confused. No, I think the thing that's gonna really set the are we in throes of death or not is what do they do for Halloween. If Halloween is just a expanded this kind of a thing again, this same kind of an event, then it's like, oh no, dude is on oxygen, he's in the other room, nothing's gonna save him, because you can't sustain the game with these kinds of updates. Sorry, you just can't. They're too boring.
I would argue
Halloween
and Christmas, because usually it's one or the other that introduces a new format. So Christmas last year introduced the multi-event, and I think that initially and we'll get into this in a minute, but I think that initially the multi-event was an attempt to succumb to our demands of 4-week events and make it interesting. I just think that they didn't make it interesting. They made it boring. They somehow managed to ruin the one thing we've been asking for a long time, which is 4-week events. They found a way to ruin it.
It's the methodology. There's nothing else going on except just tapping and going and tapping and going. I mean, this little mini chapter thing is really the bigger complaint. There's no chasing things around your screen. There's no neighbor interaction. There's nothing. It's writing and the same repeat and rinse on every single update, whether it's a mini event or a major event. It's the same methodology. That's what has to change.
I feel it's been over a year since we've had neighbor interactions, like required, probably no, and
maybe more.
Going back to the name, I mean, I just think it was really clever, like a part of the funny dialogue, if you will, where they kind of realized that it's Krusty's last gasp. It's something that we would find amusing in terms of the game. But for those who are not familiar, as where did that come from? It's actually a nod to a segment that Krusty had on a TV show. One of his on-screen TV shows was called Krusty's Last Gasp. He interviewed characters like Jimbo.
So let's get to some reader comments about it. CJ Brown LV says that this should have been, regarding Krusty's Clown College, it should have been an event prize, and it would have been back in 2016, and it will be in a mystery box sooner or later. So no point in spending donuts on it now. And the Sideshow Raheem with Adult Krusty Retreat was worth it. And then also said, I welcome the differences and challenges this time. I'm fine if it takes 5 days to complete it all, and felt Sideshow Raheem goes so well and the retreat goes so well with Camp Krusty, as do most of the event prizes. I can thank EA for Jewish Heaven, and when I get to Clown College next, actually noobs have an opportunity to get just about everything Krusty related, even though we've always had that opportunity with the mystery box. And then said, yeah, Flanders Family Reunion was an event benchmark for 2019. Either event will be just as good. And that's that. And Dizman says, I usually don't mind mini events, but this Krusty event is so boring. Same old formula. Log in, send 6 to 7 characters, usually with Homer, Bart, Lisa, Milhouse, and Ned, on a task every 4 hours. Rinse, lather, repeat. Come on, change it up with these events. An additional 8, 12, 24-hour tasks for participating characters that earn event currency. Even add 1-hour tasks for players who like logging into the game every hour. Last year's Halloween event, the last good mega event for Tapped Out, sort of did this with some characters. Why isn't Krusty even earning event currency with his tasks? After all, he is the central figure of this mini event.
That's an excellent question that I asked myself several times. He doesn't earn any event currency. So.
Although I will tell you, Pat, Dizman is happy for the 24 donuts.
Woo!
Well, I do want to point out for people who do complain that it's the same characters in every mini event, that they always keep it so that players who are new to the game and only on a low level can participate. So typically all your events will have characters that can be unlocked in the first 15 levels.
Yeah, I mean, but here's a throwback. So let's think about what they used to do and what they could have done here. They could have had something like a bunch of, plebes at the college that you have to chase around and whap their beanies or something like that. Or they could have had, even on the copyright thing, they could have had a bunch of
lawyers.
Lawyers. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Lawyers, and Name That Tune, or all kinds of things they could have done that they just simply didn't do. Like I said, I think it's part-time Bob is running this thing right now. So he delivers pizzas the other 8 hours of each day, Sandy Toes says, again, lots of missed opportunities. You go and give us Clown College, but that's it. Nothing else has to do with it. Are you nuts? That freaking event writes itself. Then the late night talk show set does not even have a visual task while Krusty is there. Why? And then Sandy Toes was happy about the premium combo. And SW180793 was also annoyed about the stage, the last gasp stage, without the visual task for Krusty. They said it's really is rubbish and lazy on EA's end. Absolutely. I mean, and what was that one thing, like a ball pit or something that had like kids in it? I didn't even figure out what it was.
It's the Krusketeers set.
Yeah, and does nothing.
When we're done with this, I have to go write a post about that. So read my post in the morning.
They're basically dolls. They don't move. They don't do
Read
anything.
her post 3 days ago, Pat.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so confused.
Time travel. AA Ben 380 says, to me, it looks like they planned the usual five-part mini event, and then randomly threw in 2 rounds of donuts to pad it out a bit. Way to half-ass it again, EA. And Santos L. Helper says, the donuts are okay as filler prizes, but since I got 60 donuts, soon to be 72 donuts on the prize tracks over the last 6 weeks, if they replaced it with land tokens as prizes, I'll be annoyed as a non-GGR player. And the first half of prizes will be more trickier to design than the second half. It seems like they should be separated from each other. The pool and retreat look like they work together if the adult resort isn't bought. And then regarding the last gasp aspect, Santos also says, I don't believe the last gasp will mean anything else for TSTO apart from the fact that it was a chat show hosted by Krusty at 3 a.m. whose best guess was Jimbo Jones. And if it was called Endgame and released in April, then I would be concerned by it. A nod to the hoax that a lot of people fell for. Stone.
I'd just like to give a shout out to all my neighbors. Every comment you've read has been from a neighbor of mine. So
there you go.
Wow.
Stone 6040 says, I had the same initial reaction to Last Gasp. A double entendre, perhaps. Sadly, TSTO has played like a game on life support all year. THOH should provide the final verdict. Let's hope for the best. Pat, did you write that comment? Are you secretly Stone 6040?
I'm just stoned. Yeah.
Well, you are in Oregon.
Yes, I am. It's legal here.
Bryson 621 says, as far as last gasps being a metaphor for the game ending, maybe, but I don't think EA will outright pull the game. I think they are being strategic and deliberately causing things to happen or not happen in the last year, making players so frustrated that they'll eventually quit playing so EA can say there isn't enough players to keep the game going. Not our fault. I haven't played.
That's so far beyond any kind of a bad theory. I mean, the fact is EA is just going to keep it going as long as the money keeps coming in and Bob doesn't get a second job.
Bob doesn't have to work longer than 8 minutes.
That's right. That's right.
I haven't played like I used to or had fun playing in about a year. Too many reasons I lost fun in the game. Bad events. When we do get them, the prizes are lackluster. Getting the BART screen. But the most irritating to me is the no-brainer events. You only need the IQ of a rock to complete them. I miss all the earlier events where the thought process was needed to play and win a prize that was useful and fit into town nicely. We used to be able to involve our neighbors and have to have some knowledge of characters in the game to progress in the event. I was once interested in making my town look like a city I would like to visit. Now I don't mind dumping everything.
I just checked something. What I was doing when I was looking down was I was trying to see if by some freak of nature they increased the item limits. They have not! So basically, once again, I'm stuck. Yeah, it is. I mean, every time they give me some new steaming pile of something, I have to figure out whether I want to kill some trees and flowers so I can place the steaming pile of something. And I'm at a point now of just like going, I don't care, So,
and Rusty, this is the last comment about Last Gasp. Rusty says, I don't think this is a sign the game is winding down. As long as The Simpsons is on TV, I think the game will continue to exist unless perhaps there is a huge drop in users. I guess we will see. I expect the game to be running a year from now. So the readers kind of echoed our thoughts without actually listening to us, which is great because we're not live. So these are comments that came in before the show aired. So it's great. People agree with us. It's awesome.
Well, keep going a year from now. Is that the same as like Bob hasn't woken up from his coma in 26 months?
Wait, so
but
now
we're
Bob's working every 8 minutes and in a coma? This guy's impressive.
They wake him up every once in a while and just say, okay, Bob, what do you think? 100 donuts? 100? Yeah, 100. And he's gone again. That's it.
If they're worried about like their cost and net profit, like why is Bob doing this? Why don't they outsource to Bobber and Bobber do it?
That's a joke only Safi can get.
Nice.
All right,
you guys are running the ship up there. I've had 3 big support calls with a couple of my providers, and dude, you guys run it. It's great. They're all from Toronto. They're all from Toronto.
Of course.
I actually answer my phone now when it says Toronto because I figure it's one of my support guys calling back.
So let's change gears a little bit and talk from current event to future event, because it's more pleasant to talk about stuff we have no idea what's going to happen and speculate and predict, and then we can be disappointed 2 weeks from now when it actually hits. But it's fun to speculate. That's the more fun aspect.
So throw pragmatism out the window. We forget about the fact we said this thing's on life support. We're gonna get the best event ever.
Listen, even people with massive credit card debt still spend money.
Wow.
So with the debitors calling, they still spend that money.
Okay.
Just ask Tori Spelling. Anyway. So Halloween Treehouse of Horror is the one of two events everyone looks forward to every year, that and Christmas, because they're the two events that really are staples every year. You always have a Halloween, you always have some semblance of a winter/Christmas event. Winter 2016?
Yeah.
So do we think, so this year the Treehouse of Horror in the show is episode number 666, just like they planned from the beginning. Do we think there'll be a big blowout this year in honor of episode 666, or do we think, they're not even going to mention that episode? They're going to just throw something totally.
I mean, God, there's so many things they could do with that. I mean, the whole selling your soul to the devil. They could send Bleeding Gums out to the crossroads. I mean, there's a million things they could do with that. I don't know that they will. Does Bob even know what 666 is?
He thinks it's 999. He's Herman Cain. There's a throwback joke, guys.
We froze Safi.
I broke him. We broke him. We need to call Toronto for tech support. There he is.
I can hear you guys. I don't know what's happening with I blame the hotel Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Too many guests.
What are your thoughts, Saf?
I would love to see. There's so much TSTO Treehouse of Horror content from the past 29 Treehouse of Horrors that they could pull from. But it would be great if they could have one nice solid event based around this year's Treehouse of Horror, and with a focus on 666. And I mean, this is a really special episode for the writers of the entire cast and crew of The Simpsons. So it'd be a really nice homage to that if they could center a whole episode around it. But I feel like it's going to be another 4-part multi-event where we'll have 4 little segments of THOH each that are kind of disjointed. So what I want,
I have finally gotten to Safi.
You broke his yin.
Oh,
your yin broke his yang.
Oh, yang. Oh, yang. We're going down, baby.
I mean, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention, because it's something Wookiee would mention if he was here. You have to enunciate the word horror, because if you say it too fast, it does not sound good. It sounds like horror. So make sure you overly enunciate Treehouse of Horror. So
I don't think there is enough horrors in the game.
This is a G-rated podcast, guys. We got to make sure we enunciate horror, not horror.
I say also that Pat, I'm not just following in your footsteps, but I also believe what Homer says: "Son, aim low, aim so low that if you succeed, no one cares."
This is true. This is where we're going. I mean, how far can we drive this puppy down? That's where I am.
So do we have? Safi just gave his format prediction. Pat, do you have a format prediction? Do you think it's going to be another multi-event? We're going to get a traditional event or some kind of hybrid mashup?
I really, really, really hope that they have something planned. I hope that they've been storing up Bob's overtime and the whole bit so that at some way, shape, or form, this update is worth us logging on to. Because I got to be honest with you, I have become, I'm super busy, first of all, as you all know. I'm juggling 45 balls. But in the air, in the air. But the
G-rated show, guys.
yeah, that's right. But and then, so I've been kind of just blasting. I'll play the game straight for like maybe 4 or 5 days, and then I'm so bored I just go the heck with it. Click, 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 and I finish it out, and then I move on. I'm not even really sending people out at this point. I'm donut farming every third day, every fourth day, just so I can keep my 400 donuts in the box. But it's, they've got to do something because they are losing people left and right. They are losing people left and right. It's got to be something substantial, period.
What if this whole year has been preparation, preparation, not preparation H, but preparation for Treehouse of Horror,
Preparation
in that, like, it's some kind of dialogue where zombies have taken over EA's headquarters, and they just had the last year of sucky events. Maybe it's just their big grand scheme of things.
One could hope. I mean, one could hope. I just feel like there's a business side of me, there's a pragmatic side of me that says if they're shedding, users left and right, which I suspect they are, and they are so unimaginative and continue to be unimaginative in the gameplay aspects, that to put the kind of resources together to do a big one may just be outside the scope of believability for me as a business person. But I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, they have so much potential. I mean, I was doing some research ahead of like the episode reminders. I mean, just to shout out the season premieres coming up, guys. But kind of a spoiler for Treehouse of Horror. So a couple of the things they'll be spoofing this year are Shape of Water and Stranger Things. So I mean, there's a lot of potential for a really good Treehouse of Horror event within those two TV shows / movies. That they could make a phenomenal event. So I'm really optimistic that they'd stick this episode 666 and follow in the footsteps of the writers, and like how excited they've been about this episode. But again,
that was God. That was God. Yes, we're going to go ahead and do this now. So, in fact, we're going to have a naked monster that comes out of the lagoon for Shape of Water. It's going to be great. We'll have the shower scene.
Well, that's it though. I mean, with this episode, there's going to be so much into this episode because it's something that The Simpsons and Gracie and Fox, Disney, are trying to make such a big deal about, because it's a Halloween episode and it's episode 666. I mean, what are the odds of that happening as planned out, really, So there's so much. But there's so much content that they can do with just that episode, and we don't quite know what's going to be in it yet, unless we were at Comic-Con, which we weren't, or D23 and saw the previews, which we weren't. So, but and no one's spilling the beans. So I just think that if they stay focused on that event, that episode, and really make this update centered around that episode. And EA, if you need ideas, you need format help, just read our site. I know you steal ideas from us all the time anyway. So
this, you know what? I don't want to start another rumor or another conspiracy theory, but this whole thing might be some kind of backlash with the Disney part. I mean, there's something about the lackluster side. It's as if they don't get it. It's like, oh, that's good enough. Hey, that's good enough. It's like sending the kids around and around and around and around till they puke up churros. It's like, no, this is good enough. We're gonna. So
eventually, you have to get off the teacups. Eventually.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you do. I don't know. It just feels like something is not connecting at the dots. The thing that I still find fascinating was the C3, C4, whatever that seminar was.
E3?
E3, there we go, where they were interviewing all the writers, and the writers were like, "Is that thing still going?" And then a couple of them were like, "Well, no, we're going to write. We're finally excited about it again." And I think that they have been better writing, but it might be one or two people because clearly some of the people didn't even know the game was still going. You know, it's like, oh, what's it been? 10 years? No, it's been 7. I don't know. You know,
42.
yeah, I mean, to do that in front of an entire
Doggers.
audience and a podcast is kind of a tip. You know, it's
been
like
8 long years.
yeah, there you go.
Storb Inc. said EA really could have developed Krusty's mini event into a full event around the Cloud College, giving everyone clown costumes instead of throwing this into an event. Also ran Sideshow. I would have been happy if they made the same functionality as the zombie dumpster. And
There you go.
Ebron took this a step further and said that would have been terrific. The ability to change a bunch of folks into scary clowns like from It. And it would have been a great Treehouse of Horror theme.
I just saw that
Creepy,
last
haunted
night.
circus tent to top.
Yeah,
That
I
would
saw
have
that
been,
last
I mean, listen, clowns are scary as heck. I can't sleep. Clown will eat me. Clowns are scary. So I think that would have been awesome. I think that's a little bit too out of the box for EA. So,
I don't know. I mean, again, why only give us one clown skin? That it's like, what? You know, to that exact point, everybody should have a clown skin if they went to clown college. That's the point.
well, Homer's the one who was going. So.
Yeah, I don't even get it. Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, I will say, going back to the E3 panel with the writers and everything, the one thing that really stood out to me is I forget which writer it was or which show guy it was that kept saying every time they go to EA with an idea, EA says it's too complicated for the players. They can't have puzzles. They can't have things because it needs to be easy. EA, we don't want easy. We want involved. We want fun. Like the most fun everybody's ever had in this game was Stonecutters because of those freaking puzzles.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. Everybody loved the puzzles. I have been asking for 5 freaking years to bring back those puzzles and my giant toilet, and you still haven't done it. And that's something that everybody wants. So don't think easy. Think people like puzzles. People, we don't want a freaking shape matching game, but you know, people like to have like a riddle that they have to solve. You know, do this to send this character on a task. Fine. 2013, they had a hidden Easter egg in Halloween as part of the quest line. If you figured out which character you had to send, you got free donuts. It was pretty cool. Yeah. But back then, donuts meant something. Now they don't really mean that much. But
true. But I mean, or even the interaction with neighbors with Clash of Clones when you could go and blow up some random town and all the. I mean, that stuff was like compelling. It was compelling to play. That was the point. So, I don't know.
We don't want a shooter game. We want something a little more complex. That's all we're asking for. We're playing this game, giving you tech support for 6 years. Least you can do.
I'll take a shooter game. I mean, there's no difference between a shooter game and chasing around little.
I just meant in the simplicity of a shooter game. That's what I meant.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I was thinking of your giant toilet this week too, Alyssa. I don't know if you saw
I want to know why.
Winston Churchill's golden toilet was stolen from his home.
I was just gonna say.
So when that was stolen, I was thinking for some reason about the giant toilet.
I revolted against EA for not giving me my giant toilet. That of course that would mean I'd have to know exactly where Winston Churchill's golden toilet is, and I have no idea. I didn't even know that there was a golden toilet. Goes to show what I know.
I'm not sure. I think the guy.
Does anyone else have anything they would like to add before we wrap up? I think we've been griping long enough.
Yeah, no, I think it's all just a matter of hope. I think that there's the need for change. There's the need for something that gives us a reason to keep playing. And just throwing random stuff, particularly when you don't increase the item limits, is really a waste of time. I mean, so I think fewer and fewer people are spending time. That's really the thing.
Saf, anything you'd like to add?
No.
Okay.
He was gonna go negative, and then he went, "No, I can't do it." So.
Honestly, yeah.
I will say for everyone watching, stay tuned to the site because EA may be boring and lazy. We are not. Well, I am not. I can't speak for these two. Just kidding.
It's not boring.
Stay tuned to the site 1 week from Monday. So September 30th, we're going to have a fun announcement, something you guys have been asking us for a while. Well, longtime players have been asking us for a while. Hopefully some of them are still around.
Yeah.
The way this game is going, who the hell knows?
Around long enough to know that there was something they were asking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got something fun coming on September 30th. So stay tuned to the site for that. I'm not going to give anything else away. And that's it. We will see everyone on the next show, which probably, hopefully, will be if we have a great Treehouse of Horror event. And ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you announce horror correctly. Otherwise, you're just Robert Kraft in Florida. Everyone have a great night.
Wow. That went weird quickly. Bye.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Remember, you can always catch us at TSTOaddicts.com for everything TSTO, The Simpsons, and beyond. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at TSTOaddicts. Until next time, friends.